Hi, folks. Welcome to session number 9, folks, to the course Professional Ethics. In this session, folks, we're gonna continue discussing the Unit 2, Ethics and Professional Practices, okay? So in this session, folks, we will explore the key ethical principles that guide professional conduct, including beneficence, autonomy, justice, and responsibility. Remember that these principles helps professionals make responsible decisions, promote fairness, and maintain integrity in their professional practice, right? So some of the performance folks that we got, it's expected that at the end of the lesson, you are expected to identify the fundamental principles of professional ethics, such as beneficence, autonomy, justice, and responsibility, right? Also, to analyze professional situations using ethical reasoning and appropriate terminology. And the last one, to apply ethical principles, professional principles, ethical principles to propose responsible and fairness solution to professional dilemmas, right? So as introduction, folks, we can say that here we got some of the key phrases that we can include for these sessions. Ethical behaviors in professional environment, the responsible decision making in professional practice, respect for human dignity and individual choices, fair and equitable treatment in professional context, promoting the well-being of others, ethical reasoning when facing dilemmas, and maintaining integrity and trust in professional relationship. If you analyze these phrases, folks, they are not new because remember that we have been discussing in the previous sessions, right? So they are new, they are not new, they are related to, okay? In the content, as content, folks, I'm gonna share another slide. Let me check here. As you can see here, folks, we got the principles that I mentioned at the beginning, like beneficence, autonomy, justice, and responsibility, right? Remember the first one, beneficence, refers to the ethical obligation to act for the benefit of others and promote their well-being. In practice, folks, beneficence can be observed, like it can be observed when professionals make decisions that aim to improve the well-being of the people they serve. For example, they may offer guidance, providing support, or recommend solutions that can help clients or colleagues achieve better outcomes. In many professional situations, folks, individuals need to carefully consider how their actions may benefit others and choose the option that promotes the greatest positive impact. As you can appreciate there, folks, on the right side for this principle, we got some characteristics. I would say that they are the most principal characteristic, right? Like focuses on promoting the well-being of others, as I mentioned in the application, encourages action that prevent harm or reduce risks, okay? And support decisions that aimed for positive outcomes. Another Principles that we got is the autonomy. This refers to the right of individuals to make informed decisions about their own lives and circumstances, right? Remember, folks, that in real professional situations, respecting autonomy means allowing individuals to make their own decisions after receiving clear and complete information, right? For example, professionals may present different options, explain possible consequences, and support individuals as they evaluate their choices, right? Even when professionals may personally disagree with a decision, respecting autonomy requires recognizing and supporting the individual's right to decide. Even if you don't agree, we need to respect that, right? And some of the characteristics, the main characteristics that we got for this principle, ethical principle, we got the requirement, the information decision making requirements, okay? To promote respect for personal choices and encourages professionals to provide clear and transparent information, right? Another ethical principle, folks, as you can appreciate on the screen, is the justice. This is the ethical principle that requires fairness, equality, and impartiality in professional decisions and actions, right? In professional environment, folks, the principle of justice becomes evident when decisions are made fairly and without bias, right? For example, when organizations distribute opportunities, services, or resources, they should rely on objective criteria instead of personal preferences, right? In this way, folks, professionals ensure that everyone is treated equally and that decisions remain transparent and impartial. Okay. So we need to take into considerations all of these one, folks, at the moment when applying these ethical principles, right? Justice. Some of the characteristics, the main characteristics that we got for this ethical principle are to promote a fair and equal treatment, encourages impartial decision making, and support equal access to opportunities and resources. Okay. Another folks of the responsibility, another ethical principle, folks, is the responsibility, sorry. This refers to the duty professionals have to act ethically, fulfill their obligation, and accept accountability for their decisions and actions, right? Remember, folks, that in many professional contexts, responsibility is demonstrated or has been demonstrated when individuals act with integrity and take ownership of their decisions and actions, right? So here we need to take into account some of the values that we have been discussing before. And for example, folks, professional follow ethical standards, fulfill their duties, and address mistakes when they occur, right? And by doing this, folks, let me tell you that they recognize that their decision may affect others and work to maintain trust and ethical conduct in their professional practice, okay? So, some of the main characteristics that we got for these ethical principles are requires integrity and ethical commitment, encourages professionals to follow ethical standards and regulations, and promote transparency and honesty in professional conduct. Okay. As you can appreciate here, folks, we got the four ethical principles that we're gonna discuss in the virtual session. Okay, you can take note about this one, about those aspects and the characteristics, and when do we consider that we need to apply all of these ethical principles, right? So now let me see this, folks. I'm gonna share the first page that I started sharing. As a conclusion, folks, we can say that professional ethics provides a framework that helps individuals navigate complex situations and make responsible decisions. Remember that those principles that I mentioned before, like beneficence, autonomy, justice, and responsibility, guide professionals to act with integrity, fairness, and respect. So we need to take into consideration those values as well, right? And remember that, folks, when these principles are applied together, they help create professional environments built on trust, respect, and accountability. Okay, folks, that has been all for this session. In the virtual session on Sunday, two important things we're gonna do. The first one, the speaking section. As you know, as usually, I brought some questions for you to be discussed, and you can find the questions, the speaking questions on the platform, folks. You can analyze those questions, and in the virtual session, just provide your opinion about them, right? And we're gonna discuss two scenarios, okay? Based on these principles, we're gonna discuss two scenarios. Please be on time. Don't forget to be punctual, okay? And participate a lot, okay? Remember participation and attendance, okay, folks? Okay, that has been all, folks. Bye bye.